This podcast is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
All right, let me give you a summary of what I saw. I'm sure I'll see different things that I'm not talking to you about, but it's what I saw live in the scrimmage. Let's talk about the special teams. Shipley kicked the ball well, punted the ball well, covered well. That part of it, we did have a bobble on a fair catch, which we cannot have. In the twos, 2 minute, get the ball back 2 minute, Shipley came out and hit a 50-yarder with 2 seconds left, which I thought was outstanding. Offensively, way too many turnovers. A little bit of too many penalties. A little bit of a reverse of the last week. I thought the defense we started slow. I'm talking about the offense. I thought we started slow. Thought we ran the ball well at times. We got to be more consistent there. But we just had too many turnovers. We were much better in red area, low red, and get the ball back 2 minute situation than we were a week ago. So I thought that was a good sign of offensive football. Defensively, thought they ran the ball well. Certainly, intercepted passes. We got to get better at our tackling. I think we've got some pretty good backs, but we got to get better at our tackling. Had too many penalties in the secondary. Too many holding penalties in the secondary. You got to understand this is with 1s, 2s, and 3s now. So I'm not categorizing any of them. I'm saying this is overall as a defense. We have to get better at that. And I think that's about it for opening statement there.
Coach, what did you think of Talon's performance today?
I thought he played well. Wasn't as accurate with the ball as what he had been. His protection wasn't as good either, so that has something to do with it. Landon Jackson was a beast out there today. Really played well. D-line overall played well, but again, Bobby didn't run him as much this time as he did a little bit more last week. But he played well. He wasn't quite as accurate as what he was the week before.
Kudos has been out. I assume he's out today. You talk a little bit about what you've got going on there at that guard spot, left guard with the Marion, and was anybody else held out?
Yeah, today? Maury Wiggins would be the other guy that, we worked in today. Tykees went down with a little injury, so we didn't get to work that as much as we wanted to. But him and Wiggins are those guys there. Marion Harris has had a really good camp, and our plan was to switch those two guys in a little bit at him at center and get reps at left tackle. When Tykees, not bad, just a little shoulder injury, nothing major. When he couldn't continue in the scrimmage, Trey, it really kind of affected that rotation, to be honest with you, but. Wiggins, to answer your question, Wiggins and him are battling out for that left guard. He's probably ahead of him. Mary's probably ahead of him right now.
What's the schedule right now for Kudos?
That's good. That's a good question. We're continuing to get looks at him. We're hoping he's back as early as Monday. It could be as early as the next Monday, to be honest with you. So we're still waiting. He's in rehab right now, rehabbing that back, and he's feeling much better. We don't want to get him out there too fast, Trey, so it doesn't complicate him the entire year. So we're being very, very cautious with him, and so really we're just going off of how he feels.
The 8 interceptions is a big number. How many was Taylor involved with, and is it concerning?
Man, I don't know that answer. He may. I don't know for sure. Yeah, it's concerning. It's concerning whether it was him or somebody else, to be honest with you. But of the first 4, 3 of them were tip balls. Which has to do with catching the ball and accuracy of throwing the football. I know there was at least two of those three that if we just catch the ball, it's not a pick, it's a completion. So, interceptions, you look at them on the quarterback a lot of times, all of us do, but a lot of times it's on catching the football, running the correct route, accuracy, and certainly the protection of the offensive line. So I'll have Kyle give you that answer. I don't know it.
Did you hold so Jaquindon, maybe Broden and Armstrong, some of those guys held out or
No, Jaquindon played some of the practice. Broden and Armstrong both went out early for walks and flex and starts and Indy, and then we chose not to play them today.
Do you feel like best you can judge you're on schedule for where you wanted to be right now? How would you evaluate your pace, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. Here's what I saw for the first time. It was yesterday. I thought we were sluggish yesterday, and that was a Spiders practice. I thought we were sluggish. I thought we were slow, which we're not trying to keep them fresh for the scrimmages right now. We're not. We're trying to, continue to develop our team with the toughness of it, and we're pressing them until Monday. And so we were sluggish yesterday, and I felt like, at least offensively, where we were sluggish today. Defensively, I felt like we flew around a little bit. Again, the tackling is a concern that we got to get better at, but I like where we're at. I like our kids because they work extremely hard. It's important to them. They got a really good team togetherness culture about them. But we just didn't play as well at times, either side of the ball at times, like I wish we would have today.
Keon, Cuddy, and Singletary have all missed a little bit of time this fall. What did you see from those three, maybe specifically today?
Yeah, it was good for them to get back. Cuddy had a really good week of practice from what I saw. I think he had some penalties today, holding. We've got to watch that. Stu's getting better. And then who else do you say? Yeah, Singletary had a good Monday through practice. I didn't notice him negative or good today, so I have to watch the tape to give you a good answer there, but he's moving well.
And can you share maybe any other players besides ones that you mentioned so far who missed today?
Missed? Man, help me. Who? I think we probably got them all.
Have you feel pretty good about the return guy? I mean, you know who that might be right
Yeah,
now?
I think it's Satagna. I know it is right now, and I feel really good about him. I mean, I really do.
You think bringing in Ramsey at summer maybe ignited Shipley a little bit?
I think it has to. I think anything like that, I think it has to. He's been really good, and I can make an excuse for Ramsey. I'm going to. He's had a growing issue, and so. But Shipley's that's a big kick today. I mean, the one offense goes down and they run the clock out in the 2 minutes, 2:07, 3 timeouts. They get the first down, they run the clock out. We win the game. Offense was ahead by 2. Then you flip it. And I just made up a scenario of 48 seconds. We'll go down with the 2 offense versus 2 defense, and then Ship comes in and makes a 50-yard, pretty good deal.
Feel pretty good about the defensive line depth at end and inside.
I think I'm feeling better. That's another guy. Well, you didn't ask me who played well, but you asked me. Getting Anton back, big. He's a good player. I like our D line. Getting him back helped, and Quincy's coming on. And I think as soon as that happens, getting Anton back really helps us at the defensive end spot. I think there's a battle there with him and Nico, and Quincy's coming on. So that makes us pretty close to pretty damn solid on the two deep O-line with Danny and Graffard. They both have to continue to come on, and they've got to drop some weight and get in a little bit better shape for us to really be able to play them for 4, 5, 6 plays in a row instead of alternating them.
It's going to be the 2 deep, Danny and Ian inside. Do you feel like either one of them is ready to help you right now?
Not quite yet. They got to get a little bit better shape. But yeah, they're going to help us, but not lengthy. We might have to, like I said before, we might have to use both of them for one guy.
Coach, I know Marion has played guard previously. He'd been working mostly at tackle. We didn't see him at guard until maybe this week. What led to trying him out in there, and what do you like about him at that spot?
Well, a big reason was because of he'd been playing so good, and so you rate him with Kudus out. You're ranking him. He's at least 5. So he's, he had a problem with keeping his weight. He's a big old kid coming out of high school and he lost, and he had a problem keeping his weight. Now he's over 300 pounds, playing well. So we moved him in there and it made us better. And so I anticipate whether he starts or whether he doesn't, when Kudus returns, we'll have us a good 2 guard and a good 2 tackle, regardless of who wins that battle when Kudus comes back.
And Kyle was telling us, I guess TJ Metcalf had a couple interceptions today. Just what did you make of his
Yes.
performance?
I tell you what, him and Hud, they're battling it out back there, and he made some really nice tackles too, and both those Metcalf kids, they're hardworking guys, and football's important to them, and I love them both. But TJ is probably more improved right now than a lot of guys on the team. And it's just because his work ethic. He's always been a good athlete, but he's worked his way into a really solid football player.
With most of the receivers being back and, some of the issues today, do you think that can be something that can be easily rectified as far as the tips and the missed catches?
Well, the tip parts of it, yeah, I mean, yes, to answer your question, yeah, I think it'll help us when we get all our guys back out there.
Sam, you mentioned Anton a minute ago. Now he's been back for a few practices. What are you seeing from him? What do you think he can provide there at D?
I like him. I think he's playing better right now than he did any time in the spring. I mean, he's a load now, big, physical. The summer program really helped him a lot. And I think he's a really good player and excited about him. And I mean, I just feel him all the time. I stand behind the offense. I feel him when he's in there. I know he's in there. So he's another hardworking kid, comes from 1AA program, appreciative of what we have here at Arkansas. And I'm just really proud of him. He's a tough kid.
We were talking to Travis about linebackers yesterday, and he's feeling pretty good about those guys. You had some good players leave through the portal. He brought in some good players through the portal. That's kind of the way it works these days. Just how do you feel about the linebacker room overall? The depth.
I think we're pretty good, and I think we're deep. I think we're, with Dix and Switzer, and then you have Spence and Sawyer. Sawyer's had a great week, and Spence did too. They're both really good. Well, they're all 4 good players. I like our depth there. We'll wait and see till the games come, but I think we're in pretty darn good shape right there.
I guess you're at a point to say Shipley's the kicker now, or do you still?
No, not yet.
Ramsey, you feel like obviously the stats weren't good, but you feel like
well, he's got a growing injury, and I don't know should we have kicked him today or not, but we chose to. So no, there's still a battle there.
Let's go on where Landon's in a pretty good position, obviously, but it sounds like he's not letting up in practice. I mean, he has a big scrimmage. I mean, how much do you like that your best player,
the older guys,
is playing like that?
Well, that's him, and he's been. He just works hard. But I'm gonna tell you what, you can work hard and not be very good. You know what I mean? He works hard, and his quickness has really improved. I mean, he's really improved his technique and his game. Really proud of him.
Got a couple more practices for camp, I guess, until school starts. How do you transition, I guess, from, obviously still working hard, being physical, but making sure you get the legs back and all that kind of stuff?
Once school starts, it's a different animal. And the more, to be honest with you, the more is too. Trey, if you look at it, since we've been here, this is the longest camp we've had before school starts. You know, they move our games 2 days earlier, you know, and have 2 buys, and usually it's about a week and a half, you know, now that's been 2.5 weeks. So, we will do a little something different than normal. I will say this, you know, preseason, I think we've lost one game, our first game. We lost to Georgia my first year here. I think we've won the rest of them, and then we've won all our bye games. We've won every one of those, you know, when we have some time. So I think our plan is pretty good, but certainly there'll be more indoor practices, you know, things where you're not out there, the sun's beating down on you, and the length of practices will change, and good on good will change. We'll always have some trade, but it certainly will be much less than what we have now.
I mean, there's like upwards of 30 new players, I guess, on this roster. And you got some conversations with, and maybe some older guys too, about scout teamwork and stuff like that. How do those conversations go? And I know it's difficult sometimes, like, hey, we need you learning these schemes, you know.
We've done some 3 and 4 exchanges for teach periods now. Basically, we did that so we could be ready for 3 and 4 exchange whenever we get started, and it's gone well.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.